Hello everyone, welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Aaron Herman, with the opportunity to speak with David Broza, who is considered amongst the most dynamic and vibrant performers to emerge from Israel. An icon in his homeland with over 30 years of impressive career throughout the world, a remarkable repertoire of anthem hits, Broza continues to create and to release his original fresh music and fusion of the countries he lived in: Israel, Spain, the USA. Let's take a closer look.
David Broza, you've been all over the world, and you're back in New York City for a special performance. Tell us a little bit about this performance.
Well, it's the same format that I used for over 20 years in my Not Exactly Christmas show, which I do on Christmas Eve. But this year I decided to move the Christmas Eve show to January 7th, which happens also to be a Christmas Eve, but for the Greek Orthodox. Guess that. But no, it's a special event because I wanted to be, as part of a very big conference that goes on musically here in the city. So all the big promoters and all the big bands come to play, and I never get to be part of it because I'm always committed to my Christmas show. So I got my favorite musicians, the band. They're all based here in Brooklyn. Most of them are Israeli, all of them are Israeli. And I have a few special guests. I have Jay Beckenstein, who's been playing with me for about 30 years, the leader of Spyro Gyra. He's going to be playing saxophone, as he does every year on my shows. And I'm going to have Mira Awad, who's coming especially from Tel Aviv to be with me. She's an Israeli-Palestinian, amazing musician. I have Ali Paris, who's a very unique musician who's done some shows with me around the country, but we played only briefly here in New York City. He's originally from Ramallah, an amazing kanun player, a great singer. And then my very, very special guest, who the last time we played together was about 10 years ago in Masada, when I brought her over with Jackson Brown. This is Sean Colvin. Sean Colvin has got this most amazing voice and writes those beautiful songs, and so we're going to do some songs together. And that'll be it. That'll be a show, a night full of music that basically covers my entire career, and a lot of my hits. Actually, most of my songs in this show are going to be my hits, and the story of my career, as I will unfold it as the show goes. I never really plan my shows. I leave just about everything loose and allow the evening to be really to take form based on the energy that I have and the energy the audience wants, and of course I always have an arsenal of great songs. And so it should be a very special night.
What is the best part about playing music for you?
Just playing music, For me, I live all day long for those 2 hours of magic that I get, 2 or 3 hours that I get to play during my concerts. I love playing. I play all the time. Play at home, play on the road, play almost when I'm asleep. So I'm always playing.
And one of the things that I love about your music is that it's very personal, and bringing in also different types of artists sort of gives a different type of vibe to a concert. How do you pick these artists to sort of help? Because obviously as an artist yourself, you have your own flow that you use.
Well, listen, I love a lot of musicians. My taste is very, very broad, and my styles are very eclectic and sometimes esoteric. So although I was raised on jazz, I was raised on pop and rock and folk and all that, I think my music, the energy is always consistent. It's a very intense energy, very dynamic. I can sing a lullaby, and at the same time, a minute later I'll sing you a wild rumba. But it's always intense, and with a lot of intent and a lot of poetry. The lyrics are full of poetry. I sing in 3 languages. These are the languages I speak. English is not my mother tongue. It's my second language. So my Hebrew is my preferred language. But then I would be missing out on a lot of audience if I sing only in Hebrew. And of course Spanish, which is another language I've acquired over the years, having lived in Spain and toured a lot in Spain and written music in Spanish. So my musicians, if I work with flamenco musicians, I'll do the same songs and they'll have a flamenco style. And then when I play with Jay Beckenstein, and when I played in the past with Al Di Meola, great jazz guitarist, then my music turned and took more of a jazzy approach. And when I play with just basically the rock and roll type of musicians, it all becomes very rocky. But really, it's all about my energy and what I like to transmit.
Is there a specific song that you love playing to the crowds?
No, I love. Listen, I labor hard writing my own music and putting my albums together. But there's one song that is kind of the epitome, apparently, of my 40-year career, and that's Yihye Tov. There isn't a night that I get by without singing and concluding my show without Yihye Tov, which is the first song I ever wrote, and hopefully it won't be the last I'll ever sing.
How long does it actually take for you to write a song?
Who knows? It can take minutes and it can take years.
One of the things that also is the use of instruments. You play a number of instruments. How long did it take you to sort of learn different types of instruments?
Well, my main instrument is guitar. Always has been, and now I've actually limited myself to playing just my Spanish guitar. That's what I carry with me, and that's what I play.
Yeah. One question I always ask: why do you think Israelis are so innovative in their poetry and sort of connecting to the larger global community?
I don't know there's certainly something about Israel being a very small place and remote from Western cultures, and it's also a real melting pot for so many cultures, over 120 nationalities that have moved and became part of Israel as Jewish diaspora. So that brings a lot of mixed imagination and creativity up to the utmost level, and I think that's the key to it all. It's a melting pot. Right,
and on that note, it's like you really bring in the Arab and Israelis together to sing together.
Yeah,
and that's really special. I believe through song a lot of things can transcend.
But I think music is a bridge builder.
Yeah.
And I grew up in a family that always worked on coexistence and education for coexistence and mutual respect. And so I've taken it on and added the guitar to it, and makes my message somewhat easier to transmit.
Yeah. Is there a moment in your career when you were just like, I've achieved everything that I want to do something? Was there like a moment for you? You're like, I achieved all my goals?
No. But I've certainly come to realize that I've mastered my art and I've mastered my craft, and that took some 30 years. It's about 10 years ago. And I enjoy now playing with all the elements that I've earned over the years of travel and my commitment to music and to listening and to sharing my music with other style artists and other cultures.
All right. Going back to Yihye Tov, you said that was your first song that you put together. Now that you look back, how do you feel like people connect to that now?
Listen, it's a song of hope.
Yeah.
So people connect to it always have done, and hopefully they'll continue connecting. I'll keep on singing.
As you can see, David Broza is a dynamic performer, and this Saturday night, January 7th at Town Hall, David Broza and friends are going to rock New York City. This is Aaron Herman, and thanks for watching.